listeners, and welcome to this vlog. Yes, it's called a raw blog, but it really is just a vlog. And you're saying to me, Rob, why do you call your vlog a raw blog? Well, I do it because I can, and because it's my vlog. Welcome to this raw blog. Well, here we are. We've made it through the holidays. We're getting into January now. It won't be long before we reach the midpoint of January already. Here on the island, you can kind of see over my shoulder. This is our lovely green grass, and these are some Portuguese laurels up along the top here. And it's bright today, but it's been overcast, and we've had a few showers here and there. We were supposed to see some sun, but I think that's coming up in a few days. And then towards the middle to the end of the month, there's some sunshine forecast then, apparently. So we'll see. Sitting here with my camera in front of me, my studio lights on, here, and back behind me, and I'm having a lovely hot chocolate. And yes, I know the mug says Merry Christmas, but this is my hot chocolate mug. And when it says hot chocolate and Merry Christmas, it's the time to have a sip. So, excuse me for just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. It's a Purdy's hot chocolate. Purdy's. Purdy's used to only be in Western Canada, but I believe you'll find them in some parts in Ontario. And I know there's a Purdy's at, I believe it's at the Vaughan Mills Mall, north of Toronto, is where Purdy's is that we used to go to. But it's a good hot chocolate, and good chocolates too. Purdy's chocolates, those little hedgehogs, oh my God, num, num, num. Well, I'm going to tell you of a couple of things in this vlog today called Raw Blog. First of all, you know what it's like when you have a tube of toothpaste and it gets down towards the bottom and you're rolling up the tube and you're smashing the bottom of the tube. Sometimes I take something sharp or maybe something like a comb, just something with a sharp edge that you can push the rest of the toothpaste towards the end of the tube. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I found this toothpaste before Christmas. I've always used Colgate, and that's what this is. You can see where it says Colgate here. And the toothpaste is called Elixir. It sounds like I'm a witch, doesn't it? And I'm mixing up my toothpaste. So, but I'm not. In this plastic container, you can see here, this is how much toothpaste I've used. When it comes new, it's up to the top, right? But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages. They tell you this is the new way toothpaste is going to go because no more crinkly tubes. This is a plastic tube, as you can say. And when you take the bottom off, it just undoes like this. And then you just give it a slight little squeeze and a perfect drop of toothpaste comes out on your brush. Elixir Colgate. So I've been using this for the last month, not all the time. My normal Colgate whitening toothpaste that I use it twice a day and use this twice a day too. But I'm thinking because of the non-mess and the non-crinkly tubes, which will tell you right here, if you read the information on the back and you lift this up and read underneath it, it will tell you, say goodbye to those crinkly tubes. So I wanted to share that with you. It's from Colgate, and it's called Elixir, and it has these little micro thingamajiggies in there that are supposed to polish your teeth a little bit. So anyhow, I like it. I just thought I'd share it. Colgate Palmolive does not pay me for this. I wish they paid me mega bucks for this. Maybe when I put it on the hashtag on the YouTube site, maybe they'll see it. But it's a great toothpaste, and I love the tube. No more crinkly tubes. Here's the other thing that happened today, which started a few days ago. I'm going to sip my hot chocolate again. All the whipped cream is now melted and it's gone into the Purdy's. So today shopping at Walmart, it's the first time since after New Year's that I've shopped there. And they gave us fair warning that they were going to start to charge to use their carts. Now, back, I believe in Ontario, at the Zayres stores and whatnot, you had to put the Loonie into the cart and pull it out so you got your cart. Well, I don't know whether it's Walmarts everywhere, but Walmart here on the island, and our Walmart here is the largest Walmart on the entire island. They started a week or so ago. So now you got to remember to have a toonie to put in that little contraption and pull it out. It does piss me off a bit. We pay enough. Now, I know you get the money back, but it's just the idea of taking this Loonie, always having one with you, and not getting into the store, putting stuff, getting a card or thinking what you're doing here, and then you realize, oh, right, I can't get a card because I don't have a Loonie with me. So that's part of the thing that ticks me off. But anyhow, I did have to put a Loonie in to use my shopping cart at Walmart today. So change of times. It may stop all those people who think it's okay just to put their groceries in the car and leave the cart sitting there, letting it roll downhill into someone else's car, right, and create damage. But now at Walmart, you have to put it in their little Dewey there, or your little coin in the Loonie in the little Dewey, if you know what I mean. Loonie, Dewey, put her in, Shoppy. Okay, that's basically what it is. So, something else new for 2023 that we just have to get used to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been reading the news. Now, you remember all that terrible stuff that happened in Ottawa in our parliament last year with all those people protesting that they had their rights taken away from them because there happened to be a needle that they would take that would prevent them from getting seriously ill or die if they caught Mr. and Mrs. COVID, right? Anyways, it seems to be the thing to do now around the world. And I was just reading this morning now in Brazil, where they just elected a left-wing president, that the old guy, I don't mean he's old, I just mean the old extreme right-wing Bolsonaro, didn't want to leave. He claimed that the counts were wrong, that no, he still should be president. That sounds like some other a-hole in the world. Just can't remember who it is right now. Anyways, they were all there protesting at their government, their parliament, whatever they call it in Brazil, Congress, something like that. And they were all there, his supporters, saying that, no, he should still be president. No, people spoke, the vote is done, and the left-wing guy is continuing and hopes to make Brazil better as far as health-wise, because this right-wing guy didn't want to do anything, didn't believe that COVID was a real thing. Where have I heard that before? It couldn't have been all the truckers. Anyways. So I just wanted to mention that to you, that this is catching on. And I think it is a dangerous precedent. I think our world is changing. And I read this huge article yesterday that here in Canada, the number of hate crimes, we'll call them, against LGBT people and transgendered people, it's apparently risen in 2022. It's the worst it's been in like 15 years. And that's very scary. So you see, you can never let your guard down, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in a minority group and you're not WASP, you just can't let your guard down. You have to keep fighting for those things which you fought for years ago. And in the case of LGBT rights, it has been going on for years. And we were kind of settling in and everything was fine. But now you just have this small group of people who get vocal on social media. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Just cancel your Twitter and your Facebook pages and all that stuff like I did. Then you don't have to read that. You go to a proper news site like CBC News and see what's going on. Okay, enough said about that. I have my little cheat note down here. Remember I told you last time, like a real television station, I have a cheat note below the camera so I can glance down and I can see what I want to talk about next. And what I want to talk about next is a program made in the UK, but it is on CBC GEm, or the streaming part of CBC that we get on our television. And the program is a 4-part, and it's called Ridley Street. And if you are a fan of Call the Midwife and you've watched the new episode, the first of the new episodes for 2023, you'll see that one of the characters there is going through some racist remarks from, I don't know. I don't want to use that word stupid, but people who just, I don't know. Are they uneducated? I don't know. That happened in the late 60s. So this series is called Ridley Street. It's a 4-part series. The hubby and I watched the whole thing last night, all 4 hour longs, because it was one of those shows you have to watch because the momentum is there, and you don't want to spoil the momentum by waiting 24 hours. So we watched it all. It is very good, and it tells you or shows you how the UK back in the late 60s was slipping into this mindset. Not all of them, just a small portion again, that everything was being taken away from the whites in the UK. That the immigration, the immigrants, Jewish folks, black folks, whatever, were taking jobs and everything else away from the white folks. So it was an interesting time. And it's just strange that Call the Midwife is starting to put that into its season this year, because they're around 68, 69 as far as the year. And now we watched this Ridley Street. So if you want to see a good four-parter at Ridley Street, and it's scary. It actually kind of made my stomach kind of go a bit like this. But, you know, we just have to keep our sights, and we have to be able to speak up when we need to speak up, because there are those out there that want to change the way this country is, and we don't want that happening, do we? Another sip and on to a new topic. Is this rude, me sipping on my chocolate? Well, you may just be sitting there with a glass of water. I don't know. It's good, though. I enjoy it. Next time, have a hot chocolate with me. Now, another couple of things I wanted to mention very quickly. Favorite shows of ours on CBC. One is called Son of a Critch. Mark Critch, who you may know from years on This Hour is 22 Minutes. He has a show that he produces and I think writes, and it's about him supposedly as a young kid in Newfoundland when his dad worked at VOCM, or I don't know whether that's a true story. It's a fake dad in the show, but the station is called VOCM. This is the second season, just started, and we just watched that first episode last night, and it's very well done. I think it gives a very, I would think, true perspective of what life was like in Newfoundland. I think we're into the 80s in it as well. The other show, which the hubby and I wait for that we like, is called Pretty Hard Cases, Season 3. It's a cop show in Toronto, and but it has a lot of humor in it too. And it started again. So if you're looking for a couple of really, really good shows, and not some all that American crap that we get pummeled with all the time and think it's good TV, take a look at Son of a Critch, and also Pretty Hard Cases, okay? Another one while I'm on the topic that we watch, and I think the first episode is this week on CTV, called Transplant. It's a hospital show. It's not about transplanting hearts or kidneys or anything. You would think it would be a hospital show, a doctor show called Transplant, but it's actually about the main character who is a transplant into this country. So it's almost like a double take sort of on the word, but it's another good show, well acted, well written, great stories in it, and you're not seeing an American flag every 2 minutes in every scene. So I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, that's going to be it for today. I just took a little, did you see me peek down at my list? Did you see me peek down at my professional list that's hanging just out of camera range? Well, I looked down and I have talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me on this raw blog. Remember to subscribe. It's down here. And that little like button that's like, give that a little flick too. Again, I'm not looking for thousands and thousands of subscribers, but you know what? I just appreciate all of you who tune in and listen to me ramble on about the topics on this sheet, which is right down here below, for my eyes only, not your eyes. So remember, for 2023, always keep your feet inside the line. Truer words have never been spoken. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Take care. Happy 2023.